The city lights blurred into a soft glow outside Sarah's window as she went through her nightly routine, the familiar clicks and taps a soothing rhythm. She set her alarm, plugged the charging cable into her phone, and placed it on the nightstand, its screen briefly illuminating the quiet dark. Sleep came easily, a welcome blanket after a long day. But when the morning alarm blared, a flicker of confusion cut through her grogginess. She silenced it and noticed the battery icon glowing a defiant red, showing only 10% charge. That was impossible. It had been plugged in all night. Shaking her head, she chalked it up to a faulty cable or a loose connection, a minor glitch in the matrix of her morning. She swapped the cable, made a mental note to keep an eye on it, and dove into the rush of getting ready for work. A few days passed, and the charging issue seemed to have resolved itself. Life returned to its normal, predictable pace. One evening, scrolling through her camera roll to find a picture for a friend, her thumb paused. There, nestled between a photo of her lunch and a sunset, was a blurry, dark image. It was an accidental shot of her own ceiling, the kind you take when you fumble with your phone. With a slight roll of her eyes at her own clumsiness, she tapped the trash icon and thought nothing more of it. But the next morning, a cold knot of dread began to form in her stomach. Another new photo had appeared, taken sometime in the dead of night. It was a perfectly clear, perfectly still shot of her, asleep in her bed. The angle was low, as if taken from the foot of her mattress. Her heart hammered against her ribs. This was no accident. The picture was deliberate, a silent, chilling observation. A profound sense of violation washed over her. Her safest space, her own bedroom, had been breached. Panic began to coil tightly around her chest. Who could have done this? Her apartment was on the 3rd floor. The windows were locked. The deadbolt was always engaged. The only other possibility was the one her mind refused to accept. Frantically, she spent the next hour in a digital frenzy, her fingers flying across the screen. She changed the password for her phone, her cloud account, every app she could think of. She revoked permissions, ran security scans, and scoured online forums for any hint of a similar bizarre hack. Finding no answers, only more questions, a grim determination took hold. That night, she repeated her routine, but with one crucial difference. After setting her alarm, she took the phone and placed it face down on the nightstand, its camera lens pressed firmly against the wood. If something was going to happen, she would know for sure. Sleep did not come easily, her mind racing with every creak of the old building, every distant siren. The first rays of dawn crept through her blinds, and Sarah woke with a jolt, her body stiff with anxiety. For a moment, she just lay there, listening to the sound of her own breathing. Then, with a trembling hand, she reached for the phone. Her fingers felt clumsy as she unlocked it and navigated to the photo gallery, her breath held tight in her chest. A new photo was there. It was a close-up, a horrifyingly intimate shot of her own sleeping face, so near that she could see the pores on her skin and the faint flutter of her eyelids. Her stomach lurched. It felt like the air had been stolen from her lungs. She forced herself to zoom in, her morbid curiosity overriding her terror. And then she saw it. Reflected in the dark, glassy surface of her own pupil was a face. It was pale, its features distorted into a grotesque, elongated smile, watching her from the darkness.